Good evening. Our news summary for this Tuesday, the 17th of February. President Patrick Emini has announced that Seychelles will assist India will assist Seychelles in building a Coast Guard base on Assumption Island. Speaking at a press conference this morning, President Emini said the project forms part of strengthened maritime cooperation between Seychelles and India, aimed at enhancing security in the Indian Ocean.
President Emini also confirmed that Seychelles has joined the Colombo Security Conclave, which brings together India, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, the Maldives, and Bangladesh to address regional threats such as piracy, illegal fishing, human trafficking, and drug trafficking. In the health sector, India has agreed to assist with the construction of a new hospital at Rosh Kaiman. The Minister for Health, Dr. Marvin Fani, who formed part of the delegation, said discussions are ongoing regarding the size of the hospital and the services it will provide. The President also noted that negotiations are continuing with the European Union on the Seychelles Sustainable Fisheries Partnership Agreement, which is due to expire this month. Overall, President Emini described the visit as successful, saying it has strengthened bilateral ties and secured practical support for Seychelles' development priorities.
We managed to negotiate with India several memoranda which will enable us to build the Seychelles that we want. These memoranda cover issues like defense, infrastructure, digitalization, e-mobility, and I think it was worth it. And we believe it simply shows that there is a need for us to strengthen our bilateral ties with other countries, not only India, but we have other countries like China, Russia, Cuba, that will enable us or facilitate the implementation of our manifesto for the next 5 years.
Seychelles and India are set to celebrate 50 years of bilateral ties this June.
A delegation on the Fisheries Committee from the European Union Parliament paid a courtesy call on President Emini at State House this afternoon. The delegation is in the country to review the impact of the fisheries deals between the EU and Seychelles. With the current Sustainable Fisheries Partnership Agreement, SFPA, between the EU and the Republic of Seychelles under negotiation, members of the Committee on Fisheries are here from the 17th to the 19th of February to discuss the progress the country has made towards more sustainable fishing, improvements to fisheries control and data collection, and the fight against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Emma Weisner, a member of the Swedish Parliament, is the head of the delegation.
The European Parliament is here as a delegation to strengthening the relationships and also underlining the importance of the partnership that the Seychelles and the European Union has. We are here from the Fisheries Committee of the European Parliament, and we have a very important Sustainable Fisheries Partnership Agreement that's been in place for the last 42 years, but in 6 days it will expire. So right now there's important negotiations between the Seychelles government and the European Commission to find a new agreement, and that is basically what we have discussed, the importance of working together, strengthening democratic cooperation in an era where there's a lot of geopolitical tensions and so on.
So do you think you're going to reach an agreeable agreement which will be beneficial for both parties?
The European Parliament are not the ones negotiating the agreement, it's the European Commission, but us as a parliament elected by the peoples, by the Europeans, more than 400 Europeans, we indeed believe this is a very important partnership, both for Europe but also for the Seychelles. Every euro that's being spent in the Seychelles Islands, 3.8 euros is being materialized in new jobs, infrastructure, regulations and authorities that is really developing and helping Seychelles to get developed. So indeed we see mutual benefits here, that Europe and Seychelles has a lot to gain from this partnership. So we indeed hope that an agreement will be reached very soon. the partnership that Europe has with Seychelles, it's our biggest global partnership for tuna fishing. So it is indeed one of Europe's most important partnerships indeed. So we have a lot to gain, both sides, of reaching an agreement and cooperating in the future.
The leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Bernard Georges, criticized the 2026 budget, saying it does not benefit all citizens, lacks a real plan to strengthen the economy, and fails to inspire hope among Seychellois. He was responding to the budget speech presented by Pierre Laporte, the Minister for Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Investment. Whilst the leader of government business in the National Assembly, Sylvain Lemiel, says the 2026 budget is a reflection of the people's choice for a new direction.
In his remarks, Mr. George argued that the previous LDS administration has left a strong and stable economy to the current U.S. administration. He also suggested that the minister's speech implied Seychelles has already become a social welfare state, something he had previously claimed. Mr. George highlighted what he sees as key differences between the two economic approaches of the LDS and the U.S., particularly regarding social welfare. He further criticized the budget for not clearly explaining how the government intends to finance the promises it has made. The leader of government business in the National Assembly, Sylvain Lemiel, voiced strong support for the 2026 budget, calling it a first presented by a United Seychelles government under the leadership of President Patrick Emini and a reflection of the people's choice for a new direction. She highlighted that the budget includes measures to benefit society broadly, particularly workers, students, retirees, and vulnerable groups in areas such as salary increases, additional benefits, efforts to reduce wage disparities, the introduction of a national living wage, new allowances and gratuities, and initiatives aimed at improving living standards and supporting lower-income earners.
That was our news summary, and it concludes our news update for today. Thank you for watching. Have a very nice evening.